She can be seated in the middle of the aisle. It's fine. Okay, so I know we've got lots of visitors here today. First, let me say welcome to you all. Second, let me say that you come on a Sunday when actually I'm going to put you to work. I'm going to ask you to help me a little bit with this sermon. Yeah, we'll put you to work too. For those of you that are more frequent members here, you know that sometimes I like to ask you questions. I have a question to begin today's sermon, and I really want you to answer, to shout out, to play along, okay? So you don't have to be a regular member to give me an answer here. All of you invited to play along. So here's my question. What's the difference between when someone comes to visit you in your home and when someone comes and actually moves into your home for good? That wasn't a joke, but anyhow, I love it. I can imagine where your mind's going, but answer me that. So what's the difference between when someone comes just to visit you in your home and when that person comes and moves into your home for good? What are some of the differences? Yeah?
All the stuff that they bring.
All the stuff that they bring, that's right. When they come into your home for good, you got to move some of your stuff out because they're bringing some of their stuff in. Yeah, what else? Marie.
The latter is usually a child, a grown child.
That is true. I heard the other day that between the ages of 25 and 30, the greatest response to the question of where are you now living is back at our parents' home. I don't know if that's a pep talk for you who have infants that are being baptized, but don't move furniture when they go to college. Okay, what else? What else are the differences between when they visit and move in?
One is more permanent than the other.
Sure enough. I mean, look, someone visits and hopefully for not too long, parents, if you're visiting, you know, your babies, that's not for you, but, you know, keep that in mind. But when they move in, I mean, this is permanent. They are there. Yeah, what else?
You have to change your routines. The visitor you go is kind of short.
Sure enough, right. So when a visitor comes, you're going to change your routine. That's okay. They're just there for a little bit. But when they move in, I mean, we're talking about a change that's, well, forever, right? Yes, right. What else?
Not only are they bringing all their stuff, they're also bringing their emotional baggage.
Yeah, they're bringing their luggage and their emotional baggage. That's right. And when we share our home with a visitor, look, we can be polite, we can be on our best behavior for a while, but when they're moving in, that emotional baggage moves with them, and then, frankly, we're going to be more compromising. Then the hard work really begins. There is no question that there's a difference between when someone comes for a visit and when someone moves into your home for good. The first lesson that we heard today is from Paul's letter to the Ephesians. I should tell you just very quickly that actually there's some debate as to whether Paul really wrote this letter or not. The traditional thinking is that he was the author, but more contemporary scholars believe that Paul was either in prison and wrote it from there, or one of his disciples wrote the letter. That doesn't really matter. Here's what they know for sure about this letter. They know for sure that Paul did in fact live in Ephesus, lived with the Ephesians for 2 or 3 years. So he was there, and he talked to them about Jesus, about who Jesus was as God's Son. He talked to them about Jesus' ways, about how he not only believed in the law and the commandments, but actually he broke those law and commandments open and believed in justice and grace and forgiveness and compassion and inclusion, that he tended to the people on the margins. Paul comes to Ephesus and tells them about all of this, and at the end of that, he baptizes many. He baptizes Jews, but the amazing thing here is that he doesn't only baptize the Jews in Ephesus, he baptizes the Gentiles as well. And in case you're not clear, that was a radical piece of inclusion, because previously Gentiles had been considered unworthy, unclean, and outsiders. So Paul baptizes all these people, not as many as we're going to baptize today, but Paul baptized them again. And when he left, there was a church. There was an early church. So scholars agree on that. They agree on one other thing as well. After he left, he began to wonder. He began to wonder what had happened. He began to worry that although people sort of knew who Jesus was, and although he had baptized all these people, he began to worry whether or not they had really changed their lives. And so he speaks in today's lesson these words that are almost a prayer. He prays that they know the depth and breadth of who Jesus is. He prays that they know the depth and breadth of Jesus' love. A love that is fuller and richer beyond our wildest imagining. And he prays that Jesus is dwelling in their hearts. He prays that Jesus has moved in for good and has a home right in the center of their being. Now, look, if you've been in church once or twice, you probably heard that notion about, well, we hope that Christ dwells in our hearts. And we say, yeah. What does that mean? What does that look like? What does that look like when we really allow Christ to dwell in our hearts? There's this woman, Karen Chapin. She is a Presbyterian pastor. And I think she's on to something when she wrote this. Having Christ dwell in our hearts is akin to having a new person move into your household. If you're just visiting, it's all rather easy. You simply offer hospitality and try to practice good manners. But if someone moves into your house to stay, everything changes. Conversations change. Relationships realign. Responsibilities shift. When Christ moves into the hearts of Christians, she writes, this isn't merely a tweaking of old patterns. Everything changes. Better be careful who you invite to your home. When Christ dwells in our hearts, everything changes. Conversations change. Conversations become more attentive, more respectful, more kind, more curious. Relationships realign. Because suddenly we don't just care about ourselves or even our own family, but we care about our brothers and sisters in Christ. And we even care about our strangers. We even care about our enemies, because that's what Christ is all about. Bringing people from the margins and saying, we care about all of you. No one is beyond our care. And responsibilities shift, because we're no longer just responsible for ourselves, but we're responsible for our neighbor, we're responsible for the alien, we're responsible for the stranger. We're responsible for justice. We're responsible for people who are living in poverty, for people who are hungry, for people who are homeless, for people who are sick, because that's who Jesus cared about. Jesus felt responsible for them, and if we are to allow Christ to dwell in our hearts, then we too can share in that responsibility. Everything changes. In just a moment, we're going to renew our baptismal covenant. And for some, for 6, they will enter into that covenant for the first time. And everything changes. You'll hear in the language of our baptismal covenant, you'll hear these questions. Will you proclaim by word and example the good news of God in Christ? Will you seek and serve Christ in all persons, loving your neighbor as yourself? Will you strive for justice and peace and respect the dignity of every human being? Those are the promises that you will make on behalf of your children and your godchildren. Those are the promises that we will make again if you're renewing your baptismal covenant. And what you are promising is that you will allow Christ to move in for good. Do you hear in those promises? It's what Aaron Chilton said. It is that our conversations change, that our relationships realign, that our responsibilities shift. Everything's about to change. That's what it means to be baptized. That's what it means to be a person of faith. That's what it means to have Christ dwell in our hearts. 2,000 years ago, Paul, or maybe one of Paul's disciples, wrote to the people in Ephesus. They were a sophisticated, educated, privileged group of people. And he wondered, had Christ just visited them, or had Christ moved in for good? 2,000 years later, we hear Paul's words. We, mostly sophisticated people, educated, certainly privileged. And the words are for us to consider too. Has Christ just visited us, or does he live with us, dwelling in our hearts? I think about that question for myself, and I certainly hope the latter. I think about that question for myself. Sometimes I worry that I've been a bit like Harry Potter's aunt and uncle, who begrudgingly allowed Harry a bed only beneath the stairs. Amen.